All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking something pretty massive, Rasta Infotech's digital warehouse strategy. We're going to look way past just the physical movement of goods and really break down the complex digital supply chains that, frankly, power modern enterprise operations. Okay, let's dive into this. What actually happens, digitally speaking, the exact second a box moves in a physical warehouse? You know, it's so easy to think of supply chains purely in terms of forklifts, pallets, and trucks. But the reality? That physical movement is only half the story. The other half, and this is the truly critical half for modern operations, is the immediate and visible digital data that gets generated right alongside it. So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the digital supply chain backbone, move into defining SAP goods movement, explore MIGO, the central command, map out essential movement workflows, and wrap it all up with Rasta Infotech's digital warehouse. Section 1. The digital supply chain backbone. Think about it. When your physical inventory is totally disconnected from your digital systems, you're essentially operating in the dark. We're talking stock discrepancies, frustrating manual errors, and honestly, a lot of really expensive guesswork. But with SAP-driven visibility, a goods movement isn't just a physical transaction anymore. It's literally the central nervous system of your warehouse. Every single time a physical item moves, it fires off a digital signal. This gives you pinpoint accuracy and seamlessly syncs up with your finance department in real time. It completely eliminates the guesswork. Section 2. Defining SAP goods movement. So, the crucial point is this. In the SAP environment, specifically within SAP MM, which by the way stands for Materials Management, a goods movement is defined as any activity that changes your stock levels. Sounds incredibly simple, right? But this is the absolute foundational trigger for everything else that happens in a digital supply chain. If stock goes up, goes down, or even just changes location, bam, that is a goods movement. And those changes? They generally fall into 4 core categories. First, you've got your goods receipt. That's when you record materials coming in from vendors or maybe straight off the production line. Then there's goods issue, which is when materials actually leave your stock, heading to production, sales, or even the scrap heap. Next up is transfer posting. This handles moving stock between different plants or storage locations. And finally, stock adjustment. This is that crucial digital correction you make if you stumble upon a discrepancy during a physical inventory count. Basically, these 4 activities cover the entire life cycle of a product under your roof. Moving on to Section 3, MIGO, the central command. Enter MIGO. In the SAP universe, MIGO is an absolute game changer. It's a unified transaction interface that consolidates all your inventory postings into one single command center. Before MIGO, you had to deal with this whole alphabet soup of older, separate transactions. Clunky things like MB01, MB1A, MB1B. Now, MIGO just handles the whole shebang. It gives you total flexibility, whether you're dealing with planned receipts, unplanned returns, subcontracting, you name it. And best of all, it gives you instant, real-time visibility into your stock and availability. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer power of modern system integration. MIGO doesn't just sit there counting boxes. It actively talks to other critical systems. It seamlessly integrates with quality management, or QM, and batch management. So the very second goods are received, they're instantly linked up with strict quality control protocols and batch tracking. You know exactly what you have, and you know exactly what standard it meets, right then and there. Section 4, Essential Movement Workflows. I want you to imagine a pallet of highly sensitive microchips just arriving at your loading dock. The moment they're received against a purchase order, that physical action is recorded with the very specific digital code, movement type 101. Now let's say those microchips need to be moved from the receiving dock to a secure, climate-controlled storage room. That physical move is tracked digitally as movement type 301. Fast forward a few days, and the production floor needs those chips to build a circuit board. Issuing those materials to the line, that fires off movement type 201. And if, for whatever reason, they were defective and had to get shipped back to the vendor, that's a 122. Every single physical action has a distinct, perfectly traceable digital code. So let's pause for a quick so what check here. Why does meticulously mapping these specific codes actually matter to us? Well, because this precise workflow is exactly what prevents massive discrepancies. It completely links up your procurement, production, and finance departments, so literally everyone is looking at the exact same data. On top of that, every single one of those postings generates an auditable material document. This guarantees compliance and drives some serious operational efficiency by just slashing manual errors across the board. Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 5, Rasta Infotech's digital warehouse. Now, Rasta Infotech doesn't just use basic SAP goods movement. They've actually built a specialized strategy around it to deliver really comprehensive digital warehouse solutions. Their approach comes down to 3 key steps. First, they leverage that foundational SAP materials management we were just talking about. Second, they supercharge it by embedding AI-powered automation directly into the workflow. And third, they integrate all of this with SAP EWM, which is Extended Warehouse Management. Essentially, they take a basic transaction and turn it into a highly intelligent, fully automated ecosystem. The ultimate result here is what we call the Rasta Infotech advantage. By combining SAP MM with AI and EWM, they deliver incredibly optimized inventory control and significantly reduced operational costs. They provide enhanced compliance and traceability, which ensures a totally seamless integration across the entire procurement lifecycle. And really, this specific strategy is exactly what positions Rasta Infotech as a trusted partner for any business striving for genuine digital transformation. It's all about turning standard supply chain management into a massive driver of digital efficiency. Which leaves us with a pretty critical question to consider about your own operations today. Is your supply chain moving only at the speed of the physical goods on a forklift, or is it truly moving at the speed of digital intelligence? Because when your physical and digital warehouses are perfectly synced up, the potential for efficiency is absolutely limitless. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, keep building those digital connections.